Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the last day of the Randwick Carnival, the Autumn Carnival for 2019. And look, Mike, we've got plenty coming the viewers' way. We've got best bets, we've got value bets in there as well. Of course, a $100 hot seat later in the show. But, mate, Winx Euphoria, last week, it just dead set in for everyone there at Randwick, for everyone there at home. How good was it seeing the Allison Road entrance pretty much just lined along the street at the 2,000 metre mark?
It was like an extra stadium, wasn't it? Yeah. Scenes is the word at Royal Randwick. What a fantastic day it was. The emotion all week long.
Yep.
The surprising thing is, Stu, it kind of crept up to me. I'm one of the hard-nosed analysts out there, but I think I shed a tear on Saturday, mate. It was so emotional out there.
Nothing wrong with shedding a tear. I reckon I did as well. Of course, Tiger during the week, some more tears there. But look, racing is all about stories, Mike, and as one chapter closes with Winx, a few more might just open this weekend on Saturday. I mean, look at a couple of these horses running around. You've got Castle Vecchio for Richard Litt. Wouldn't that be an amazing Group 1 experience for him? And, of course, all this international form. Well, we don't want to bore you with all the Winx stories, but there's a story in itself there, isn't it? So many internationals coming out for our riches.
Yeah, it's definitely building up, the international form versus the Winx form. There's a little bit of banter on social media. You can read if you're a little bit bored about that. Look, they rate pretty well, these international horses, but more of them should come over instead of these keyboard warriors complaining about Winx. The Japanese form held up pretty well though, didn't it? And the Kiwi form not too bad this year as well.
They've definitely held their mark. I think that's the way we can say it there, Mike. And look, the way these internationals have improved themselves, how about the confidence this week heading into the last day of the Randwick Carnival?
Yeah, not sure about that Dubai form, so I'll have a look at the All Age and see if we can sack that form. But the big thing about this week is stage of preparation. Which horses are peaking on the day? It's the end of a long carnival, so stage of prep is so important.
Okay, well, look, that is stage of prep. Mike, what about the track conditions? I mean, this week we've had two solid weeks of racing there at Randwick, but importantly, look, the sun is out. It has been all week, and we're on, look at that, good track.
Yeah, well done, Navesh. Fair track. Rosehill was so hard, it was so heavy, but Randwick's been playing pretty well. The rail's out 6 metres for this week. It was a pretty fair, little bit off rails, so expecting pretty much the same on Saturday. Good dry conditions, really warm in Sydney today. A bit of dew in the morning, so good 3 to good 4 is the forecast. Pretty fair, we think.
Okay, well, look, we're going to have a look at 5 races we're going to hone in on this week. Of course, we'll be tipping in all of them, though, Mike. That's our job. But what are the 5 we've highlighted this week? It's a really strong card again. A couple of these Group 1 races highlighting the day. Yeah,
we've got to look at the 2 Group 1s. The Frank Packer Plate, it's a great example of which 3-year-olds are peaking on the day. Like we said before, which ones are the right ones to back. The JHB Car Stakes, a great race for the fillies. The 2 Group 1 features. And that Sprint, the hallmark, some great Godolphin horses. They've been having a great carnival lately, haven't they?
They sure have. The boys in blue. We'll see if they can finish it off at the end of the day and at the end of the carnival here at Randwick. But as you said, the first race we're going to have a look at, it is race 3. It's the Frank Packer Plate over the 2,000 metres. And wow, isn't this a typical deep carnival race? A lot of horses hanging around for the prize money. Who is holding on to the form best though, Mike? Amangiri, well, that was a pretty good display last time. It's been well back too. $3.40 into the $2.60. Really tough in the Adrian Knox. The Chosen One, well, here's a big run in the Derby, $5. Dealmaker, who we were on last start, Mike, didn't get the bickies at $6. And there's Cariff as well. Big run in the Tulloch behind the Derby, Quinella, the So You Think Norzita colt. Very likeable. And, of course, House of Cartier there, rounding it out at $10 after his win at Hawkesbury, Mike. But Amangiri deserves to be favoured in this race. That was a tough on-pace performance.
Very good. That was in a Group 3 race as well. I'm not going to have a look at her. She obviously ran well last time. Let's have a look at a couple of really good form references or similar form references. Starting off with the Derby, Group 1, 2,400 metres. It doesn't get much better than this. Angel of Truth leading all the way, kicking on really well. The Chosen One starting a really long run out wide like he did the start before, and he just keeps coming. He's so fit, he's so tough, and he seems to be loving his racing, Stu.
Yeah, we were wondering which one of these Kiwis was really going to stamp themselves, and obviously Madison County gets the job done coming second, but yeah, we've got to look out wide here. This was a really good run from the Chosen One.
Yeah, arguably some better New Zealand form in New Zealand, the other side of the Tasman, but coming over to Australia, which horses are improving, which ones are progressing. The Chosen One's obviously loving it. It was a good run.
Well, Angel of Truth, it got away from a few people in that race, and well, that was the Derby. How about we go back one start before, because Mike, they did exactly the same thing here.
Yeah, 4th to Angel of Truth twice in a row with different horses, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out the form ratings tie. And this was that day where it was inside bias, on pace bias, so we didn't think Angel of Truth was that good, but obviously he went on to win the Derby, so despite the bias, he was still a very good horse. Cariff, a little bit disgenuine a few starts ago, racing keenly, laying in, laying out. A little bit green here, but much better than he used to be. He's an improving horse, really well bred, like he said, Stu. You've got to like this last 100 metres.
It is, and that's a really interesting way to look at it, Mike. A lot of honest P plates, as you said, in the form guide, but might just be about to really string a few together.
Just learning what it's all about, we think, the last couple of starts.
Okay, we'll see if the form and all the analysis can help us out with the Frank Packer plate. Here we go with the form, Mike, and it's Amangiri and the Chosen One, clearly from the Derby.
Yeah, she was good. She worked hard early and she still ran in the finish, and the Chosen One, fourth in the Derby. You can't knock that.
All right, so there we go. As we get the key factors, it's going to be really interesting here on Saturday, Mike. It's progression for these three-year-olds.
Well, they all might be progressing or they all might be regressing. They're only three-year-olds, so you've got to guess which one's going up, which one's going down. Carnival's going up, we think, and on the white turf for Richard Freeman, he's improving as well.
Yeah, a couple of good wins in a row there. What about the distance, Mike?
Well, it's the same distance for Carnival, but it was a slow tempo last start, so we think he's a really genuine stayer. They'll love more tempo on Saturday, so that's why he gets a gold bar for distance. Okay,
so as this race really unfolds, Carnival hits the lead here, Mike, and importantly back to this nice, good track.
Not sure about him as a horse, the big guy purple sector, but he'll like a dry track. Graceful Glamour, back to a dry track. She gets a massive kick of the grey.
Okay, had a bit of odds down the bottom of the page there, but they've all got to still catch Carnival. And who gets the best positioning run here over the 2000?
Yeah, no, obviously a great barrier for Amangiri. She was drawn the car park. Usually Hawks scratch their horses when they're drawn that wide. They kept her in last start. She's got a much better barrier on Saturday. It's a big tick for her.
Oh, Amangiri, so levels right up there going forward, as you say. And I think that might be the key to this race, Mike. As a horse here that is the favourite, it's going to be going forward. A horse like Carrick's going to be getting back. So it might be a few different ways to play this race. Let's have a look now at the market and all the ratings for the Frank Packer plate. And well, there we go. We've seen a couple of those replays, Mike. It is the back marker versus the likely leader there, $2.60 versus $9. The Chosen One's obviously got the Derby form. Dealmaker's right there. Is this pretty skinny by the looks of the odds there?
Maybe, yeah. Dealmaker and Purple Sector. We just want to see them at 2,000 metres. They fouled over 2,000 metres before, so we're left with the top three. And it's a great point you make, Stu. Maybe look at the track pattern on the day to see which one you like. But if you're betting on Thursday night, which is what this show's all about, Carif's $9, equal top rater, so well bred, more genuine now. He's a great each way bet for us.
All right, each way there for Carif, so well bred, as you said, in the Frank Packer plate. The next race we're going to have a look at is race number 4 and is the JHB Car Stakes over the 1,400 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. And well, how about this form line? I think about 8 of these runners coming through the Multaja race in the PJ Bell on day 1 of the championships, and the first few over the line there are naturally the favourites here. And one of those was Into the Abyss, $3.90, So Taken there, and Laburnum, all the others with the Multaja form. My Expression there, $10, having its second Aussie run, and Etana up for the Kiramar and Dave Eustace camp from Melbourne, Mike.
Yeah, pretty good field this one, and surprises some short price favourites, but maybe not too much depth. One thing we do know is that most of the horses in this race come through one form reference, so you're going to have a good look and see which ones you like. Laburnum, 3-1, no cover, giving a trail to Into the Abyss. Probably the best run in the race, but it was a very good ride. So Taken up the inside. She's Furline, sprinting well like she does. She just peaks a little bit late, the horse in yellow, so I'm a little bit worried about the 1,400 metres for her.
Yeah, it was interesting when we were selecting this replay. I was going through the form and I was thinking, right, back to 8th Laburnum, it's about 2.6 lengths, but then we've got that other group in behind at 5.3, Iwas and My Expression. So do we have a bit of a clearance out here from a bit of a race?
Yeah, but those horses first up back in the field, they could improve, they could bounce off those first up runs. Just talking about stage of prep, obviously Mizzy and Fiesta are probably better than those fillies, but they're at the end of their preparations.
Yep.
That's why they finished midfield that day.
Okay, so we've got a lot of form coming from one race, and the punters, well, they've got to have a look down to Melbourne to see this horse, Etana. We're going to take you through to the Group 2 CUNY, so some decent form here, and well, what you'll notice in the form guide, Mike, is stuck very wide.
Yeah, punters hate when a horse is 3 wide, no cover. How about when a horse is 4 wide, no cover? When you're watching this race and you're on her each way, you were absolutely gone 500 metres from home. But the thing about this horse, she's really tough, she's really fit, and she keeps trying. She's not too far off here. You've got to love the way she finds the line.
Yeah, look, love a horse that just sticks there that last little bit, Mike, off a very tough run, weighing up all against that Sydney form. So we've had a look there for the punters if they hadn't seen it. There you go. Now let's have a look at the form and all the analysis for the JHB Car Stakes.
Yeah, Into the Abyss beat most of them last night. That's why she gets the gold bar. But Etana, we were pretty close to giving her a gold bar. She's not far off, and the form ties in through Spanish Whisper.
Okay, well, let's get this race started, Mike, to progression.
Yeah, Waller's a great trainer because he always leaves something up their sleeve, so Taken should improve. Shirani's got big upside this preparation, and My Expression second up. She can improve for Waller as well.
Okay, and all importantly, the 1,400 metres here.
Big tick, I think, for Etana. I think the 1,600 metres in Moonee Valley didn't quite suit her last start. Back to 14's ideal, pushing forward. And Uwazi, I think it is. the 1400 metre on a dry track's better for her too.
Okay, so a little bit of gold at some value here. It's Into the Abyss, So Taken and Etana all on top, Mike. The good track, all important.
Yeah, good track, and Randwick as well. So gold bars for the same horses again. Etana's never been there before,
right,
but she looks like a Randwick type, a tough on pacer.
Okay, you've had a little bit of luck picking a few of those Randwick types. As we hit the line, Mike, position in run, who's going to get it?
Not playing too much. They should be coming across the track. Hopefully they all get their chance.
Okay, look, well, we've got Etana finishing on top there from So Taken and Into the Abyss there, Mike. Looks like a bit of a stacked field here to me, but it might be worth a gamble on a few of these visitors outside of that form. Let's have a look. It's Etana on top at the $10, so we are going for value, it looks like here. Into the Abyss, So Taken. We can't ignore those form lines, but the tough Randwick types, Mike, you found a few of those, as I said. Gallic Chieftain was one a few weeks ago.
You've got to know your horse, and if you're betting on, you're putting big money on a horse, you've got to know these animals, you've got to profile them. The confirmation's so important. Etana improving all the time, progressing all the time, tough on pace, back from 1600 metres, and she's a different form line. She's a great way to go in this race.
Okay, one of the outsiders there in race number 4. It is Etana, the Melbourne visitor for us. There's a look at 2 races on day 3 of the Carnival. Stick around and we'll wrap up the rest of the races after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. The third race we're going to have a look at on Saturday is one of the Group 1s, and it is the Moe and Chandon Champagne Stakes over the mile. It is the Group 1, and well, Mike, the sires, I mean, 25 of the past 31 winners coming through that race, and well, the market pretty much backs that up here with Loving Gabby and Castle Vecchio. They pretty much were flying home in that race last time. They're right here, $2.30, $3.60. Fortress Command made up ground in the Balliol, and of course Power Scheme, that was one of ours last week, Mike. A bit of a different field here today though on the back up after last week's win.
Did you say 25 out of 31 of the winners came through this race? That's an unbelievable stat you pulled out. Gives me more confidence. I thought I've got a replay and see that lead up race and see how they went. Loving Gabby, look, she just laid out a bit, didn't she? She didn't quite pick up with the rest of them. It was a strong tempo, but boy did she pick up late. And Castle Vecchio, first up off a freshen up, you think he had this race absolutely at his mercy. He looms up, but doesn't quite go past them, Stu.
I thought he was going to run straight past them this day, Mike, and I remember turning around here and said, is he an out-and-out miler? What's going to happen?
I think he might be. I think he probably just needed some fitness after the freshen up. I think 1600 metres looks like his go. Microphone obviously gets the win. Looking back in the field, Bellevue Hill in the light blue beat most of the rest of the field at his previous start. So the form references are very, very good. 25 from 31, that's a great stat, Stu.
It is, and look, Mike, a few of these punters, I mean, they're looking right at the top of the market here. So, look, let's go a bit further wide and show you one of the Melbourne visitors. This is Lady Lupino, and, well, some of the punters thought Winks was involved in this race because Chenier went off $1.24, thank you, after winning by 5 lengths prior, but couldn't catch Lady Lupino.
She couldn't, and the margins were really big. What is going on with this race? The time was pretty good, so the ratings are pretty good on this race for a 2-year-old. Lady Lupino leading all the way. It was the first time she'd been on a soft track, and she's a small, athletic, tough type. So maybe that's what brought on the improvement. Look, her previous form is nowhere near as good, but that run was pretty impressive, Stu.
Well, look, you've got to have a look at all these replays. I know the main one we're looking at is the sires. The punters, that's probably where they're going to head. But let's see if they're going in the right direction with all the form and the analysis for the Group 1 Champagne Stakes. Clearly, it's the sires produce.
Yeah, and saying that Lady Lupino was a good win, but Loving Gabby probably would have won it by 10. Yeah, light her up for form, she gets a gold bar.
You've got to put it into perspective. And what about the key factors? Can they help any of these catch these two?
Yeah, looking between the two favourites, Castle Vecchio is the one that can probably progress off the last start run. He's off a freshen, obviously. He might have more fitness to come.
Okay, so there's a couple there with gold, but these two still well out in front, Mike. What about the distance? I mean, Castle Vecchio looks set for the mile.
They should be okay, but I guess just that little tiny question that last 50 metres, maybe for him, Loving Gabby should be okay. Pretty much the same as 1400 metres, we think. Fortress Command, super, super tough. Crystal Falls, she hit the line okay as well last start. Okay, still way out in front here, Mike. It looks pretty simple. Track conditions. I'm just going to concentrate on the favourites. Castle Vecchio, I think on a soft track, his peak ratings. Loving Gabby probably should have won a Group 1 Blue Diamond on a good track. A little bit of a tick to the filly. Okay, well, look, they are absolutely lengths in front still here, Mike. Position in run, who does it help? We're not playing it, but maybe Loving Gabby, a bit of a tick for her. She can go forward or back. Castle Vecchio can only go back. Okay, look, I know when we were discussing which races to do this week, this was one of them. We thought, okay, is it a bit simple? It is a bit boring. But look, there's punting and there's dollars to be made, Mike. Maybe it's a Cornella. Let's have a look now
at all the ratings and the dollars for the Champagne Stakes. I mean, these two have been way out in front for the whole race. 230, 360. Is it a matter of which one you like from the size, then just back it?
Yeah, they're both more than $2. And, you know, if you want to bet on a Thursday night, go for it. We're probably a little bit cautious when you've got a race like this where you're really confident in, and you know there are punters out there that love to lay favourites.
True.
Maybe wait till Saturday, maybe wait for the mounting out. If one of them walks in looking really good, that's the one to back. Loving Gabby's the one on the Thursday night, but wait till Saturday afternoon for a bet in this race.
Okay, so it's Loving Gabby for us, but wait until Saturday afternoon is the advice there before you bet in the Champagne. Let's have a look now at the other Group 1 feature for the day. It is the All-Age Stakes, 1,400 metres, Group 1 at weight for age. And, well, how much is popularity worth, Mike? This horse, Osborne Bulls, $2.50, pretty much crossed the line together with PIERATA. It's out at $5. Dubai, this is the interesting horse. It ran away from them in Dubai over 1,400 metres for Charlie Appleby. He's got a good record when he brings his horses to town, as we know. Leramain, the tough warrior, coming off his 9th in the Doncaster at $12. But Mike, Osborne Bulls, it draws the pole here.
It's a big risk for him, isn't it? Maybe if they come out wide, it can go up the inside, but you're hoping, you're guessing, you got your fingers crossed. That's exactly what he did last start, though, in the TJ Smith. Let's have a look. He got well back, and PIERATA, interestingly, got well back in this race. He's a horse that was drawn okay and can go forward when he wants to. Osborne Bulls up the inside. Quickens better than PIERATA, but one thing you know about PIERATA, he never lies down. He's such a bulldog, isn't he, Stu?
Yeah, he loves to fight, and geez, when Osborne was hitting the inside here, there were some big cheers on track from a few people around us, but here comes Santa. He got the race won, but looking behind, they're all pretty close together, these three.
Yeah, including Champagne Cuddles, and she was tightened as well. Maybe that was the right lane for this race because her previous form was below those other two.
Yeah.
But it was a good run from the filly.
It was, probably heading to Queensland. Well, let's have a look at the international raider now. It is Dubai, and look, you'll just see him coming to the outside here, Mike, but I guess the real interesting thing here is what he does in the concluding stages. Really like the way he made the finish here.
He's big, he's strong, he's powerful. He's a sexy-looking horse, isn't he? When he runs well, he sort of settles midfield with cover, comes to the outside and powers straight past them. But the big question is the form running. This is Group 2 Dubai form, which weighs up to Group 3 English form. If this horse comes out and beats some of our best sprinters on Saturday, maybe the international debate has got it. The Aussies have to beat this horse on Saturday.
All right, yeah, of course, we had a few that retire there after the TJ as well, including Scholes and, of course, Trapezator. So, yes, we do need to step up here, Mike, our sprinters. Let's have a look now at all the form and the analysis for the Group 1 All-Age Stakes.
Yeah, we're going with the Aussie form. Osborne Bulls and PIERATA across the line together. Light them up.
Okay, good to see Aussies out in front. Let's see if they can stay there, Mike, with the key factors as we get the race started. Progression.
All well-exposed sprinters. Are not going to play this factor tonight.
Okay, 1,400. We've got to play that one.
Yeah, Leramain, 16 back to 14. Big tick for him. It's a much better distance for the veteran.
Okay, so it's still the Aussies, Osborne Bulls and PIERATA out in front. Dubai would need to make up a bit of ground. Can he do that at Randwick?
Dry conditions, all okay for us, we think.
Okay, well, does this international horse get a better position in run?
Well, he settles all right midfield, but the big tick we think is PIERATA. He's a colt. He's a 4-year-old stallion looking for a stallion career. They'll push forward on Saturday and settle outside Manuel, we think. Big gold bar for PIERATA for positioning run.
Look, it really is a case here of who steps up for this Group 1 win, isn't it? We've got PIERATA, Osborne Bulls. They're knocking on the door for this, but Dubai's right there. Who wants it? Whoever steps up is going to get it. Let's have a look now at the ratings and all the dollars for a bet in the All-Age Stakes, Mike. And, well, you've kept mentioning this a few times. Group 3 form in the UK, Group 2 form in Dubai. That might scare off a few punters at the $5. And, well, PIERATA's on the same price. I know where I'd rather be.
He just can't win Dubai. Let's leave him out. PIERATA, Osborne Bulls, Leramain. You won't see three more consistent Aussie horses. They'll run the trifecta, we think. You can back either of those three. But PIERATA's a top raider. PIERATA's going forward. This is his Group 1 on Saturday. I hope he wins it.
All right, so do I. Aussie all the way there for us in the All-Age Stakes. And the fifth and last race we're going to do in depth tonight is the Hallmark Stakes. It is race 8 on the card over 1,200 metres at Group 3 level. And so many of these, Mike, in my opinion, back to the dry. That's the big query for me. Music Magnate, Viridine, Easy Eddie and Trekking, they're all like that. But Home of the Brave. Already a big Group 2 win in the Theo Marks in the spring, beating Trapeze Artist at $1.95. And then here's these horses coming back from the Galaxy. There's Viridine at 7, Easy Eddie with the Galaxy form as well. Really on the improve, isn't it? And Trekking back to the dry track, Mike, $7.50. But this is a very classy horse, Home of the Brave. They brought it here for a reason last year.
Yeah, he's an international sprinter that's done well since he's come here. He probably rates a little bit better than Dubai at his best. Let's have a look at one of his better local performances, which is first up, 1,200 metres. up the straight at Flemington. They ran a really good time this day, beaten by a good horse in Voodoo Lad. They won a Group 1 late in the preparation, and a big gap back to Brave Song in third.
Yeah, look, it was all eyes on it this day, wasn't it? And it came out, and just here you're thinking, okay, don't know whether it's going to hold on, but it does, Mike. It does well.
Yeah, we came second, but fights really hard, gets on pace and fights hard. Such great qualities and had much more weight than Brave Song. So it rates really well in this race on Saturday at set weights.
All right, well, there's a look at one of the internationals, and we can now call him an Aussie, I guess, Mike. He's been here long enough. Let's have a look now at Trekking and Brave Song, last preparation. And, well, here we go, Mike. This is in the Testarossa at listed company.
Only 6 weeks later, and Brave Song gives us a form link through to Home of the Braves. Obviously linked form. They're trekking similar weights this day, so maybe not quite as strong as Home of the Brave, but gets out into the clear, sprints well. This horse, Stu, reminds me of Osborne Bulls, Godolphin horse, coming through the grades. He could be better in 6 to 12 months' time. He could be better this prep even.
Right, big call, Mike. I know a few don't like to back this horse, bit of a nonny.
Yeah, he's won a few. His record's fine, though.
All right, there you go, trekking. Back to the dry track. Let's have a look now, form and all the analysis for the Hallmark Stakes. Who are we going to light up? It's got to be Home of the Brave.
At set weights, Home of the Brave has the best form. Pure and simple. Viridine, we've rated him on 2 starts ago. He's second top rated for us.
Okay, let's get this race started. Mike, got to bring the punters home with a winner. Key factors, look, they've all got a bit of progression here.
Very good fresh horse, Home of the Brave. Viridine gelded this preparation, could have more upside. Trekking could be his best preparation yet. Brave Song, a fresh horse as well.
Okay, might have a race on our hands here in race 8. What about the distance, Mike?
All 1,200 metre sprinters, we can move on.
Okay, they're all going to love it. What about track conditions?
Yeah, you talked about at the top of this race, didn't you, Stu? Trekking would love it. Music Magnate should improve, and Miss Q would like it as well.
Okay, so it's Home of the Brave, just out in front, only by a length here, Mike. So Viridine and Trekking knocking on the door here. Do they get a better position and run?
No, Home of the Brave leads on his own, we think, with Dothraki just behind him. They both get the gold bar.
All right, so Home of the Brave kicking away there, as you would expect, a $1.95 favourite to do. But Mike, this is the last race. I've got a lot of Godolphin in this race, so I want to see how we play this. Let's have a look now. All the dollars and, of course, the ratings. It is an absolute blue wash there at the top, Mike, isn't it? Home of the Brave from Viridine and Trekking. Look, couple of lengths. He only skipped away late there in the key factors.
Yeah, it's almost like a cycle race, isn't it? The blue team, the red team, and the Bjorn Baker team. You've got 3 big teams in this race.
Well, they've been doing well.
And we are backing the Blues. Home of the Brave will be so hard to beat, but he's a 7-year-old first up.
True.
So maybe once again on a Thursday night, don't take the $1.95, wait for the yard. If you are backing on Thursday night, we think Trekking's the bet. Back to a dry track for him is a big tick for him.
All right, so Trekking at value, but Home of the Brave extremely hard to beat. There's an in-depth look at 5 races on the card this weekend, but stick around after the break. We'll have all our other bets and, of course, the charity hot seat. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We've had an in-depth look at 5 races on the card, but of course the action doesn't stop there, Mike. We've got a big 9-race card to get through. Hopefully plenty more value on the day. Take us through the summary of the best bets. The punters want to take this carnival out a winner.
Top to bottom, Legion of Boom coming off a heavy track run. You can ignore that. Big chance, $11. Man from Uncle first up from New Stable at $12 with Jason Collard on board. Cariff and Atana, we talked about them, a good value. I'm a Princess.
Yeah.
She could be forgotten in the market. She's a great stayer from High Chaparral. Loving Gavi, Pierata and Home of the Brave. We talked about those 3. Very hard to beat. And Sweet Scandal, so tough for Waller in race 9.
Yeah, tough horse. He can keep them going, mate. How good is that? 5? Well, that first 5 races there at double figure odds,
mate.
Pretty
All
much.
big
That's
odds.
Good. What about the $100 hot seat? This is where we need to make the cash for the 100. Where are the punters heading out to Randwick going to play on Saturday?
We are chipping away. We're getting closer to the grand. $10 on Cariff at $9. We think it's a great play. So well bred, improving all the time. $10 on Atana. The different form line, isn't she? The Melbourne form line. She can win for sure. Yep. Pierata, $5. He's the value. Trekking back to a dry track. But most of our money on Saturday is going to place all up. $55 at $2.77. Right. Castelvecchio will run 1 or 2.
Yep.
Pierata will win. $2.77's easy.
Storming home and Pierata right there, Mike. Okay, there's a look up the $100 hot seat. Time for the charity multi now, so let's have a look to see what we've done here, because there's a lot of nice bets in that $100 hot seat, Mike. So I thought I'd pretty much just add one at the front and the back here. So we've got Cariff at $2.70 the place. There's your Castelvecchio at $1.50 the place. Pierata, $1.85 the place. That's money for Jam. And Trekking, well, you've sold me, I think, Mike. $2.24 the place. $10 here at $16.50. So we're going for a decent go here for the charity multi-bet.
I'm going to have to put some money on that because there's nothing. You've got to always win as much as your mates win. 277 is good, but 1650 is a lot better, Stu.
That is very, very true. Well, there's a look at some of the exotics for this weekend, but get out to Randwick. It's going to be another fantastic day. Congratulations to the ATC. It's been a fantastic carnival. That's all from us on Key Factors. Head to the raceguide.com.au for all your feature profiling for the big meeting on Saturday.
Enjoy Saturday.